Brilliant engineering, luck, or sorcery? Or maybe a little bit of everything? How about all those classic cars with engines that defy time and still run like a clock? Today, all our focus is on the finest pieces of American engineering. This is the story of some of the most reliable American engines ever made. Engines that withstood the test of time and never missed a beat. Enjoy! Chevrolet Small Block V8. The Chevrolet Small Block V8 is easily one of the most iconic engines ever made. Back in 1955, when the engine was introduced, its design was revolutionary, with an overhead valve layout and compact, lightweight construction. The original version featured 265 cubic inches in displacement, and it set the stage for future iterations, as the engine would grow in displacement over the years to 283, then 328, then 350, and finally 400 cubic inches. With such diversity, it's no surprise that this engine powered pretty much everything GM was rolling out in the following decades. Corvette, Camaro, Chevelle, pickup trucks, sedans, the small block V8 was ready for any task. The most iconic of all is probably the 350 cubic inch variant introduced in 1967. It's the most widely used version that also earned an impeccable reputation for reliability and maintenance, which makes it probably the most beloved engine among American tuners. And despite the advanced design for its time, the small block was super reliable, enough to earn its place on this list. Iron block and OHV layout ensured durability, while mechanics loved its small size. The engine also used hydraulic filters, which reduced maintenance requirements even more. Its ability to withstand all kinds of upgrades and last for decades with minimal maintenance made it one of the biggest icons of the American automotive industry. Ford 300 Inline-Six. Back in the day, Chevy was famous for its small block V8. Ford's best engine at the time had 6 cylinders, but a pretty impressive displacement of 300 cubic inches. The engine was famous for its long stroke design, which ensured plenty of low-end torque, so it doesn't surprise that its primary use was in trucks and SUVs. Introduced in 1965, it instantly became Ford's most reliable workhorse, particularly famous for its applications in F100, F150, and F250 models, where it was the base engine and the most logical choice. The 300 Inline-Six wasn't designed for high-speed performance. Its longevity and toughness are things that made it legendary, and even back in the day, it wasn't uncommon to see examples with way over 300,000 miles on the clock with minimal maintenance. It's probably the most reliable engine Ford has ever made. And if you wonder what made it so reliable, it's mostly because of its straightforward design. The aforementioned long-stroke character didn't just provide plenty of torque, it reduced stress as well, along with cast iron construction, made it a long-lasting companion of millions of truckers across America for several decades. Even the later version, with electronic fuel injection, didn't lose any of its toughness. AMC Jeep 4.0-liter Inline-Six. While modern Jeeps are not exactly champions of quality, things were completely different back in the day. Jeep and AMC were making some of the toughest engines around, and probably the most legendary was the 4.0 Inline-Six introduced in 1986, when it came as a successor to the good old, also very reliable 258 Inline-Six. This one featured 244 cubic inches, and it was co-developed with Renault, which owned AMC back in the day. The French automaker brought refinement and fuel efficiency and made it even more reliable, particularly when multi-point injection was added in 1991. Today, this engine enjoys the status as one of the most durable and most beloved engines in the off-road community, famous for smooth operation, linear power delivery, and plenty of low-end torque. Therefore, in the next couple of decades, applications were numerous, starting from the legendary Cherokee XJ, Grand Cherokee, and of course, the Wrangler. The 4.0 Inline-Six never missed a beat, and what made it legendary was its robust construction and straightforward engineering. Cast iron block and head, low revving nature, and with minimal number of things that could go wrong, this 6-cylinder unit was able to endure the most extreme off-road conditions with ease, and that's why it has a cult following among Jeep enthusiasts. Chrysler 318 V8. Also known as the LA engine, the 318 V8 is one of the most reliable engines Chrysler Corporation ever made. It had its debut in 1967, and since then, it's been synonymous with a wide range of vehicles Chrysler was rolling out back in the day. Of course, we know it mostly from the Charger and Barracuda, but this engine was so versatile that it also powered all kinds of wagons, pickup trucks, family sedans, and more. Tuners adore this engine due to its ability to be easily modified, while the E58 version is famous in particular due to its exceptional performance potential that did no damage to the engine's longevity. So, why was the 318 so reliable? As usual, it mostly comes with a straightforward and robust design. The engine had hydraulic lifters, which made it easier to maintain, while the cast iron construction ensured longevity no matter the abuse. Later versions even used fuel injection, but that didn't do any harm, and the engine continued to run for hundreds of thousands of miles with nothing more than regular maintenance. Resilience and ease of service. These are the two things that made the 318 be loved by both mechanics and drivers. Ford Modular 4.6-liter V8 281. Although it represented a significant technological leap in Ford's engine design back in the day, the modular 4.6-liter V8 turned out to be one of the most reliable engines Ford ever made. Back in 1991, Ford finally replaced its pushrod V8s with an overhead cam layout, and this engine, with 281 cubic inches in displacement, instantly became one of the most versatile engines of its time. It's been called modular for a reason, considering that it was available either with aluminum or cast iron block, single or dual overhead cam. And it powered an impressive range of vehicles, from F-Series pickups to Mustang GT and Crown Victoria, from Mercury Grand Marquis to Lincoln Town Cars. No matter the application and variant, it was a great performer and, more importantly, super reliable. Its overhead cam design allowed more precise control over valve timing, which reduced wear on the components. Of course, robust construction was there, while the advanced fuel system helped a lot with fuel efficiency. It's easily one of the most reliable engines of the modern era, a favorite among law enforcement, taxi fleets, and truck owners. Chevrolet LS V8 Gen 3 and Gen 4. When we talk about modern engine reliability, the LS engine is easily the first thing that comes to mind. Introduced in 1997, it instantly became one of the most influential engines of the modern era. It was originally developed for the Corvette, but since then, it's been adapted to power an impressive range of GM engines, including trucks, SUVs, and performance cars. It's probably the most versatile modern engine, with displacement going between 292 to 366 cubic inches for the Gen 3 and between 323 and 427 cubic inches for the Gen 4. The beauty of this lightweight aluminum engine is in its design, simple and straightforward with durable components. The engine features fewer parts than most of its contemporary rivals, while its aluminum construction turned out to manage heat extremely well. Even if there are a couple of advanced features such as modern fuel injection and variable valve timing, the LS engine runs hundreds of thousands of miles with minimal maintenance and, combined with performance and adaptability, it solidified the LS V8's status as a modern classic in the automotive world. Buick 3800 V6. The Buick 3800 V6 hardly misses any list of the most reliable engines, and that's for a good reason. Famous for its durability and reliability, this engine came out in 1988 as a successor to the previous Buick 3800 V6 and has since undergone various updates. But throughout all those years of its exploitation, it kept the perfect balance between ruggedness and lightweight construction, thanks to the mix of cast iron block and aluminum cylinder heads. Smooth operation and lots of low-end torque made this V6 suitable for various vehicles. Besides Regal, Park Avenue, and LeSabre, it found its way into various Chevy, Pontiac, and Oldsmobile models. Moreover, it was quite configurable, available both in naturally aspirated and supercharged variants. The supercharged variant, through its application in Grand National and GNX models, became legendary, a favorite among enthusiasts due to its perfect combo of power, reliability, and fuel efficiency. Despite the strong performance, the Buick 3800 V6 was still a pretty simple engine, which is probably the key reason for its legendary status. Moreover, its widespread use across various GM models also means that even today, there's a reliable supply of replacement parts and support for the enthusiast community. It is one of the most celebrated engines the American automotive industry has ever made. Dodge HEMI 5.7-liter V8. With over 7 decades of its existence, the HEMI engine has come in so many iconic iterations that we could talk the whole video just about this Dodge marvel. But for this occasion, let's stick to its modern iteration, the one that was introduced in 2003 and became synonymous with high performance and power in the automotive world. With 345 cubic inches in displacement, this engine offered a solid balance between power and torque, so it doesn't surprise it found its way to different types of vehicles: Dodge and later Ram trucks, Charger and Challenger, Jeep Grand Cherokee. Applications are various, and this versatility only highlights the engine's adaptability. Besides power and torque, the engine also gained legendary status for its reliability, despite some quite modern features such as cylinder deactivation. Durable construction and high-quality components ensure that the engine can withstand all kinds of heavy exploitation, so it doesn't surprise that there are already so many examples with hundreds of thousands of miles on the clock. Finally, let's not forget its wonderful sonic features. Simply, there are so many reasons why this engine already cemented its place as an icon of the American automotive industry. What do you think of our list? Is there any engine you would like to add or maybe take away from the list? Share your thoughts in the comments, and of course, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.